Michelle Beadle staying with us. The crossover on the NBC Sports Network, 6 Eastern, Monday through Friday. She's going solo.
I know. Scary. Well, I mean, I have like friends come and hang out. Like Paulie hung out for our first show yesterday, which was nice.
Wow.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a ratings blockbuster
Well,
there. You brought in Paulie.
You know what? I've decided this. I've decided that because we're on a network that's obviously, new, that I can't concern myself with things like that. I just want to do a show that I want to be a part of. And I wasn't doing that, and now I am. So, the ratings can't bother me. It's just got to be fun.
You going to have Fritzy on after this?
I don't know, because now I'm like, if we don't compliment him, and that's the thing. I love this, but I'm not great at compliments either. Like, I don't give them very often, so maybe I can get someone to do it, though.
Well, there's
That sounds like a deal.
enough phony people. They'll be able to do
Somebody
it.
will
It
compliment.
only takes one. Just a quick and nice job. It's great to have you here, and then I'll go about my business.
Okay.
You're on the Jimmy Fallon floor?
Yes. Well, no, we were, but we were sharing your studio. We were on the Sunday Night Football studio when we had that big giant set. But now we're on
For
we're
the
on a different floor.
crossover?
Yeah, now we're on Fallon's floor. Yeah.
Have you met Fallon?
Yes, very nice.
He's
His wife also. I like them a lot.
Nice guy.
This is amazing to watch his life just blow up. It's pretty cool when you like someone and they do that.
And then Seth Meyers taking over for Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, that building's going to be hard to get into. I'm not sure how they do that security wise.
And they're good guys. I like to see that. But Fallon going to be taking over for Jay Leno.
At least it'll be funny in that time slot. Oh,
Wow.
whatever.
You're not a Jay Leno fan?
I just don't get it. I've never laughed once at that show, or maybe not even smiled, genuinely.
Okay.
Have you guys? I mean, honestly, have you laughed out loud once?
Yeah, when I was on the show.
Were you the funny one?
Yeah.
All right then. So that doesn't count.
What about Letterman?
I like Letterman because I like his style. He's just very dry, and he almost just really doesn't care. And that's
He doesn't care.
And I
when
like
I was
that.
on, he didn't care.
When I was on, I got to finally say that. He, you know how they come and do the little pre-production, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. And I was like, oh, you can talk about whatever you want. I mean, the least favorite thing I like is baseball. And that's what he asked me about, is baseball. As soon as I sit down, I was like, really? That really just happened?
Yeah, he's tough. Last time I was on, it always feels like I'm not supposed to be on that night. That's always the
Interesting.
feeling that he gives me.
Keeps you on your toes,
Like
though.
he turns around and he goes, oh, who booked this guy? Yeah, it's tough being around him. But I did think Jay was a nice guy.
I'm sure.
But it plays to middle America.
Exactly. But I think if you're on the sides, you're a cynical jerk. I am a cynical jerk. So that kind of humor just does nothing for me. I don't find it funny. Every once in a while, they'll have like a jaywalking segment, or they'll bring on morons like, the airheads from the Real Housewives shows. And that's funny, but it's just because we're laughing at them. We're not really, it's not because he did anything. They're just dumb.
We were talking about the NFL with fan experience. They're trying to make it better for people to go to the games.
Right.
So now they have chairs that may move when somebody gets tackled. Or they may have a bunch of monitors. They're going to show video from inside the locker room. What are they
yeah.
going to show?
They can't show us anything we'd want to see.
Yeah.
So what's the point? And
Yeah.
I also don't like it because, believe it or not, I'm going to side with the athletes for a half a second, but that's their zone. That's where they have to get in this little monster mode to go out there and crush dudes. And the last thing they want to do is worry about cameras. I don't know how that makes the game that much better. And the shaking of the seats. If you're on the West Coast, you're just going to think it's an earthquake.
Yeah, that's not a good experience if you're in a Niner game.
You're in a Niner game. There are already enough problems going to Niners games. The last thing you need to do is worry about an earthquake. No.
Can I take a phone call, Brian in Kentucky, talk
Whoa.
about female sports reporters?
Oh, God.
All right, Brian, you're on. Fire away for Michelle Beadle.
I just had a comment. Men always tell female sports reporters to know their place, and I tend to disagree with that. It's two things that men love: beautiful women like Erin Andrews and Michelle Beadle, and sports. I don't see how you couldn't like it.
He
Interesting.
mentioned Aaron first.
Well, alphabetical. Here's the deal. The problem with that statement, and thank you. I know it was complimentary in its root, but however, it shouldn't be about that, because the problem is you put beautiful women who don't know much, and then you have a problem, and then they don't get taken seriously, and then you have women who may or may not be supermodels to look at, but they actually know what they're talking about, and they may not get the chance that they should be getting, or they may not get taken seriously because they look a certain way. I don't want it to just come down to eye candy, because I'm not going to say it's unfair because it's a stupid statement, but on the male side of things, we have plenty of dudes who are far from being eye candy, who are taken seriously. And I'd like to get to a place where it's a happy medium, not just hotties that may actually know what they're talking about.
Who
That's
are
it.
the guys that don't look good?
Come on.
Well, you were just talking about them.
Come on.
Alpha-
There's sweet men out there, but come on.
Have you ever been offered a gift basket by Derek Jeter?
I have not.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I have not.
Did he ever try to pick you up?
No, I do have a funny story though in Vegas many, many, many years ago before I ever did any of this stuff. I was at a bar in Vegas with a girlfriend and we were standing there and it was back when I actually liked baseball, so you can tell how long ago that is. And I'm standing there and I'm like, pretty sure that's Derek Jeter and Tino Martinez. And it might have been during when ESPYs were going on or something like that, right?
It's the greatest night in sports.
Right, exactly. So I turn to her and she doesn't know who they are, whatever. So we're standing there. Now, there are like 7 women deep surrounding these 2 dudes. And I'll never forget, the bartender brings us 2 shots and we're like, who's that from? She's like, it's from those 2 guys down there. I was like, oh, really? So they sort of make their way over. And I was young then, so don't try to roll your eyes at me. And some, what is that? Pardon Miss Jackson, that song? This is how hip I am.
Janet Jackson?
No.
Outcast?
Excuse me, Miss Jackson. Yes,
Oh,
thank
oh,
you.
oh. If
That
You're
song
Nasty?
comes on. And Derek Jeter kind of does this like weird like dance song thing. And I'm thinking, oh, no, that's not good. So it's a 2-second conversation. We send drinks back and we left. I was an intern for the Spurs then. I got back to San Antonio and they were all mad at me because I didn't sleep with Derek Jeter when I had the chance so that I would have a better story to tell.
If
when
I
got
gave you
home.
a do-over.
No, now I especially wouldn't.
Oh, you wouldn't?
No, not my type.
Tino Martinez, maybe.
I think Tino's an attractive
good
human
guy.
being. Absolutely.
Good guy. We ran into a woman in St. Louis who had a forearm fixation with Tino Martinez.
That's a real
When he
thing.
was playing with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
All she wanted to do was see his forearms.
And that would be her like,
Like she was nervous.
oh, to see the forearms?
She was like, "Oh my God."
What did she do around McGuire? McGuire had like Popeye forearms. That's a Popeye thing.
The crossover at 6 Eastern, Beetle kicked her co-host to the curb.
Wow. Just wasn't working. When a relationship's not working, you change it.
So this was a divorce.
Sure. It was an arranged marriage to begin with. so technically.
Were
I
there
don't know if it
fights between you two?
we're not friends. Yeah. It's fine. We don't need to be. See, I don't like boys either. It's not just girls that I pick on. No, we're very different human beings, and that was it. It wasn't a good pairing. I've had good pairings and I've had bad pairings.
But did you know that from the beginning? Were you involved in the hiring process here?
You know what? It was tricky. I think we had an idea of what we wanted, and we kind of got away. You know what? I will say this, and you guys know better than anyone. Sometimes it takes a long time for changes to happen, and I'm so beyond grateful that the powers that be were willing to change this thing fast, because it could have gone a lot longer and it would have been not so fun for me to do. So I am grateful to the Suits for that.
She's going Han Solo at 6 Eastern, Monday through Friday. It's the crossover with Michelle Beadle, also Access Hollywood with one of my favorites, Billy Bush.
I'm not saying anything.
Has he ever brought up the fact that I've said things about him on the air?
Oh, I don't think he would tell me that.
Oh, he wouldn't.
That's like admitting weakness, and I don't think he would tell me. We're both alphas. I don't think he would do that. To me.
I do like him.
You do?
I do.
Why?
I don't know.
Interesting.
I respect that he's a hard worker. Like he's
But yes.
yeah, he's like Ryan Seacrest. I mean, these guys.
Ryan Seacrest is ridiculous.
All right, I got to send you on your way.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna go shopping.
Michelle Beadle, the crossover, 6 Eastern. We'll come back. We'll close up shop 10 before the hour. Dan Patrick Show.